Good morning and welcome to the News Diet, where I give you daily news bites in under 10 minutes. Today, I'm going to talk about Brian Stelter's departure from CNN and other major changes at the network, the mysterious car blast in Moscow, and also the youngest pilot to have flown around the world. Let's be informed so we can get on with our day. If you're looking to get the day's news without commentary or sensationalism, then you've definitely come to the right place, and I'm genuinely so grateful to have you tune in. Just be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can catch all the new episodes, and also, as a new channel, it truly helps the show grow, so hopefully more people can also discover this healthier alternative to staying informed. News network CNN continues to make major changes to the company, the most recent being the letting go of one of their most well-known hosts, Brian Stelter, along with canceling his show, Reliable Sources. The news was announced last week, and yesterday was his last show. This change is just one of several major shakeups the network has made this year. Back in February, Warner Brothers Discovery bought CNN and supposedly are looking to take the company in a new direction. The last several years, CNN has been accused of turning into a progressive counterpart to conservative network Fox News, with almost non-stop critical coverage of President Trump during his time in office. Well, it seems that the new bosses may be attempting to bring the coverage back to a more centrist tone. Before letting Stelter go, they also fired another star anchor, Chris Cuomo, earlier this year after he was accused of helping his brother, former Governor Andrew Cuomo, confront sexual assault allegations, and also former CNN President Jeff Zucker left the network also after it was revealed that he had engaged in a relationship with a colleague. So these shakeups definitely signify the end of an era for CNN and a rumored blank slate. The new management is also rumored to be cutting back on spending, as Warner Brothers Discovery has a heavy debt load of $55 billion. They've already cut huge initiatives like the CNN Plus streaming service only weeks after it launched, to the upcoming Batgirl movie, as well as layoffs at HBO Max. Overall, cable news is in an interesting predicament right now. These companies require hundreds of millions of dollars to run, and they make most of their revenue through advertising. So, in order to justify high prices for these ad spaces, they have to have mass audiences. The problem is that these networks are actually starting to struggle in terms of ratings. Independent reporters and smaller news shows are starting to gain more market share with audiences and cost a fraction of the price to run. So the old model of star news talent, elaborate sets, and fancy graphics are actually likely to be hurting these shows now more than helping. CNN is likely catching on to this to some extent, so we'll see if their upcoming changes, whatever they end up being, end up making any difference in audience retention and the cost of running the network. So apparently there's a prominent Russian philosopher named Alexander Dugin, whose views are very pro-Russian and very anti-Western. So it comes to no surprise that he's also an advocate of the current invasion of Ukraine. While he's not a government official, it's said that his philosophies are shared by President Putin, and many outlets are even referring to him as Putin's brain. Well, on Saturday, his daughter, Daria, was killed when her car exploded from a planted device. Authorities are still investigating, but it's suspected that the explosive was intended for Alexander. Both he and his daughter were leaving a festival where he was speaking, and at the last minute, he decided to take a different vehicle. The obvious first reaction was some Russians accusing Ukraine of being behind the blast, considering the ongoing conflict, but a Ukrainian official has denied responsibility. Up to now, all fighting has remained on Ukrainian soil, so if there was any proof that attacks were made within Russian borders, then that could take the fighting to a whole new level, as technically Russia would have justification for ramping up fighting. Similar sentiments were shared towards the recent Crimea explosions, which Russia considers a part of its territory. So as of right now, no one knows who is behind the attack. The youngest person to fly around the world solo is scheduled to finish his 5-month-long journey on Wednesday. Mac Rutherford is a 17-year-old British pilot, and he departed Bulgaria on March 23rd, where he then made his way through Africa, United Arab Emirates in the Middle East, through Asia, then across the Pacific Ocean to Alaska, down the west coast of the US to Mexico, then back up to Canada, to Iceland, the UK, and then he's scheduled to make a couple more European stops before reaching his original destination in Bulgaria again. Matt comes from a family of aviators. Both of his parents and his 19-year-old sister is a pilot, who currently holds the record for the youngest woman to fly around the world. Mac received his pilot license in 2020, which made him the youngest pilot in the world at 15. You've just been informed, so now it's time to get on with your day. I'm Michele Carroll. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode and want to continue following a healthier alternative for staying informed, where I forgo partisan fighting and fear-driven narratives, then please be sure to hit that subscribe button, as of course you'll get more of this show in your feed, and also you'll be helping this new channel grow and reject sensational media. Thank you so much for your support, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode.